Hello again and welcome to the extreme run of Cold Fear. Pretty straightforward at this point. We really just need to shoot people in the head and get it over with as quickly as we can. As you might expect, extreme run is fraught with nerves when, when I'm dealing with a lot of people, especially on the deck, because then obviously I have to worry about my aim going all over the place. Helping these guys take their time as well, but I'd rather they do that than rush me. Anyway, as I was saying in the last video, I mentioned that Tom was a disgraced soldier. I think, or he was in the army or something before, but I got that wrong. He's been in the Coast Guard more or less his whole life. There's a bit of a backstory that goes by. There's a website called Executed, which has some interview stuff with the developers of Cold Fear, Darkworks. And they had at least part 1 of a bio on Tom Hansen himself. They didn't actually appear to finish it, so I'm not sure how it ends. I might have to get in touch with them and see if they can let me know. Apparently, the story goes that Tom's father worked in the Gulf of Mexico as an oil rigger, and at some point, I think it was, the document says in about 1998, a hurricane came through and killed him. And since then, Tom's been a bit obsessed with his father's death. He joined the Coast Guard as soon as he could, and he's been basically throwing himself into more and more dangerous situations. Seeming, if I could read this right, it's let's have a look here. Determined to do. As soon as he could, he joined the Coast Guard, determined to steal lives back from the sea and even the score. It's all kind of silly. He's like a loose cannon on the sea. It's kind of dumb. But as I said, the bio itself was never actually finished, so you don't know really where it came from or how he was disgraced or anything like that. But at last count, he ended up being put just off the coast of South Florida, trying to catch drug smugglers and the like, so obviously there's got something to do with that. Now, as I'd said in the main run, we're not actually in the Atlantic anymore, so I can probably presume that Tom got not discharged because he's still working with the Coast Guard, but at least moved to another ocean, and we happen to be in the Bering Sea, which is where this game is set. It's, obviously a little bit out of the way, being off Alaska and all of that, but, well, I guess that's the best work Tom could get. I also said before that, well actually it's part of the intro as well, is that the ship that they came on, the USS Ravenswood, there's a problem with it in that the Coast Guard don't actually have ships with USS at the front. They have the USCG, standing for United States Coast Guard. USS is strictly a Navy thing, so it's a little odd that the Coast Guard are making use of one of their ships. Of course, I could be wrong, but that's what someone tells me. A little bit of an uneventful video really. There are some deaths, but we've got a little bit to go before we see any of those. I'm not really kind of paying attention to the video, just sort of running around, and you're seeing that I'm mostly trying to kill things as soon as they appear and not really do any kind of unnecessary jiggering about or fancy stuff. I'm just getting the kills over with as quickly as I can. Here we've got some exocells, and I'd said before that the problem with the extreme run is that you can get killed in one shot, and that's going to be a big problem when it comes to the exocells. You'll see here when they appear, I just leg it as soon as I can, and I'm just going up to the top of the slope and then just take them out from a distance. I'm going to be saying that a lot, but eventually we're going to get into situations where these things are going to be very, very close, and there's not going to be a lot we can do about that. Particularly at the start of the next video. I am not looking forward to that one bit. I haven't recorded any more extreme footage after this. I've recorded about half the game so far in normal. So I know at least what I'm going to be expecting, and I'm not looking forward to any of it really. It's going to be quite a nightmare. Going back again to what I was saying about the site called Executed, it has a bunch of well, kind of interview-esque type things with the developers of Cold Fear. They've got a lot with a lot of different studios. They've got stuff with Cliffy B and that sort of thing. It's a bit of a defunct site now. I'm surprised it's actually still there, but it has some interesting stuff. It's got interviews with the developers themselves and some of the artists and the animators and lead programmers and things, and they go over certain parts of the game that they appear to like more than at least the most anyway. kind of go over saying, well, I like this bit of the game, or I put a lot of effort into this and into that, and I hope people appreciate it. It's nice to see. It's a very positive interview. It ends up being again a part 1, so we didn't really get any more than that, which is a bit of a shame. I'll end up putting a link to that with this video, so you can get a look at it anyway. Get a look at all of it if you really want to. Again, as I said, it's not really fully fleshed out. It's only kind of the introductions. I guess they kind of gave up partway through. Or maybe the game had come out and then they decided, well, you know, there's really no point in carrying on because the game really wasn't received terribly well. In terms of the game itself, it does look really good, and it sounds great, and it plays well enough. I guess it was just in the shadow of better games of the same kind of genre. It didn't really stand out by itself, except for, well, as far as PC goes, there isn't really anything like this as kind of a console fair game, to be honest. But I never really played anything like this on the PC, other than maybe Kill Switch was the first over-the-shoulder type third-person game I'd ever played, and this was kind of coming off the back of that. A random thing that I found out just by trawling the internet and stuff for this is that apparently there was a movie in the works for this. Apparently it made a couple of news sites, and they didn't really go into all that much detail about it, other than the developers of the game saying that they were really looking forward to it. They had a good script, and I'm guessing it was just basically a repeat of the game. And that they were looking for a good director, so I'm guessing that it never really got any further than that. Be interested in seeing how that might have come off. It would be good to have seen something like The Thing really for this, but then you would have to introduce more characters, and to be fair, they would have enough trouble just making Tom Hansen likable, because CT really isn't. Who would I see? I could probably see Colin Farrell playing him, just because Colin Farrell is also a dick. But anyway, that's besides the point. Just skip all those cutscenes, they're all irrelevant anyway, we've already seen them all in the normal run. Dream is just about getting things done. There's a save point there, something that I haven't really touched upon. I don't know if I actually will, but the game's split off into, I guess, what could be regarded as checkpoints. They're extremely far apart, and well, extremely is kind of far-fetched. It's actually really about 5 minutes apart. But if you're playing it like me and you're going through every nook and cranny and that sort of thing, it feels like a really long time between checkpoints. And if you die, you really do have to do the whole thing all over again. It's not so much that it's a hard thing to do repeatedly, it's that it just takes up a fair amount of time, and you're doing the same sort of backtracking and stuff every single time. There's an example of just not taking a shortcut. As I said in the normal run, if you drop off that, you'll probably take a shot in the back from one of the guys with the guns, and that's just what happened. I think that's them all. There might be another one down there. I wasn't sure. That seems to be fine. Just to make sure, I'm just going to leg it anyway. Or I was. I decided I need some stuff. For some more ammo. I'm feeling very short, and I just gotta keep on top of things, but it's not really working out for me. Dreading this part coming up. It's full of guys with guns, and there's a particular concern about that. If you leg it too quickly up the steps and then run in below the rear deck house, then you're going to be in a bit of trouble, because the zombies don't have enough time to get into the line of sight of the guys with the machine guns, and that means they can start shooting at you instead. And they're fairly accurate, and the bullets usually a one-hit kill, but sometimes it's two. See here, I got one guy in the head, but unfortunately that just attracted the interest of his friend. Hiding under the deck house, hopefully not going to get spotted, and yep, there I was again. Tricky to do, as I've done in the normal run. Probably the easiest thing to do is just hold back a little bit, wait until the guys come a bit closer, and let the zombies get up to the guys with the machine guns to at least attract their attention, and then just wait until the guys with the machine guns are dead, because they're always going to have let's see, 3 to 4 guys to shoot, and I'm not going to have them all down at once and then come after you. So eventually attrition will just knock those guys down and you'll be left with just the zombies to worry about. What I've done. Yep, the guy with a pistol. For some reason they don't appear to hurt as much as the normal mercenaries do, but at least I guess that's something to be thankful for. At least they're not chopping me in the face. To be honest, I really shouldn't be bothering, but I'm not sure if they're going to be there when I come back outside of the deck house again, so it's best just to take care of them. Right, well that's more or less it. Fairly uneventful run, a couple of deaths. I guess I'll see you in the next one and maybe I'll have something interesting to say.